Hello, everyone, and thank you so much for joining us today as we talk about the Spotlight decks. Finally, they're here. They're here. We have them.
We got them.
Little drum roll. Sorry, audio. We're getting into it already. I am your host, Alicia Gensch, and I am joined by two lovely designers from the Star Wars Unlimited team, starting with
MJ, me.
MJ, you.
It's my new last name.
MJU.
Yeah, I'm a game designer. I'm one of the leads on set 4.
Mm-hmm. Yep. And then
I am Tyler Parrott. I'm back in a new year with a new title. I'm creative lead. Hooray!
Yay! Congrats,
yes, officially creative lead of Star Wars Unlimited. So that's cool.
Yep.
Very
that's
exciting.
cool.
New year, new you.
New year, new me.
Yeah.
Well, the team grew and then there was more to do.
Yeah.
The team grew and Tyler demanded.
Gently demanded.
Yeah.
It's gentle, right? Well, we have a lot to talk about today, so let's just hop right into Spotlight decks. So as you can see here, these are a little bit different than the 2-player starters you might be used to.
There's 2 of them.
Now there are 2 of them.
Now there are 2 of them.
Now there are 2 of them. Oh, I'm sorry, y'all. But yeah.
I want to do like the like makeup influencer thing.
There we go. Yeah. So these are still pre-built decks that contain a leader, a base, and then some tokens. But there's something new that's in this deck. These little guys. You want to show
You
this
should
off,
hold it
MJ?
up.
We should hold it straight flat so that people can't see it.
hold
And then
These now contain a booster pack from set 4. So again, just a little bit different than the 2-player starters. MJ, do you want to talk just a little bit about what this product or who this product was really designed for? What type of player will want to be interested in this deck?
Yeah, so the Spotlight decks are kind of something new for our second year of Star Wars Unlimited. We had a bunch of starter decks going through the first year because we were expecting a lot of people to be onboarding and like figuring out how the game works.
Mm-hmm.
As we're going into the second year, we wanted to have something that is a little bit more competitive, that is like a little bit less focused on just having that starter experience, and more something that even if you just want to go to a store by yourself and play, this is something you could bring to a store showdown or something.
Cool.
That said, we still have like plans for other starter things, but this is kind of aiming a notch above that.
Cool. Yeah. So yeah, a little bit different. Talking about, besides just leader and base, what's in there, Tyler, what's like the rarity mix for these Spotlight decks?
Yeah, since they're intended to be slightly more powerful, so that you could keep up at a local event, they've got slightly more rares, they've got slightly more power, they've got slightly more complexity. We allowed ourselves to do leader designs for these products that we would never have considered for the starter decks, with regards to matching more of a theme, and even if that requires the cards to be slightly more complicated. As you'll see, for instance, the Han Solo deck is all about odd cost matters. That's a very specific niche that we wouldn't have allowed a starter product to do, but a Spotlight deck, it can have a little bit more of a distinct identity.
Yeah, a little bit more oomph.
Yeah, particularly because, these aren't the only Spotlight decks you're going to see.
Right. Spoiler.
We're spoiling the rest of year 2 of Star Wars right now.
Spoiler day. I mean, we have a ton to show off today. But MJ, thinking about, again, comparing from the Spotlight decks to the 2-player starter, same number of exclusive cards that we've seen in the past?
Mm-hmm. We have our special rarity. The number of exclusive special rarity cards is going to be the same on a per deck basis that it was before.
Cool, that's exciting. Tyler, do you want to talk just a little bit about like the design process? Obviously, this is, year 1 for us was all about foundation building with our products, making sure that, new players kind of knew what to expect from set 1 to set 3, and now we're breaking the mold a little bit. So what was that like from a design point of view?
The short answer is not that much changed. They have the same number of starter exclusives, right? So we're still designing the same number of cards. And the quantity of cards that go in the deck obviously isn't changing. So it was more about picking out cards that would create a synergistic whole. I guess the biggest difference is that unlike year 1, we leaned harder into using reprints. first of all, unlike the reprints that appeared in Shadow of the Galaxy and Twilight of the Republic, the reprints in this deck are actually reprints from the previous sets. They have this previous set code. They have the previous set's card number.
Oh, interesting.
We'll talk about it next week, but the new cards have a rotation symbol that the reprints don't. And so since we're trying to show off the new mechanics but not introduce you to the whole set all at once, we were like, okay, we're going to make sure we include cards that are good and synergistic and desirable for the deck, even if they come from previous sets. Now that said, of course, you're going to still have an overwhelming amount of new cards because A, people want to play with the new cards, but also because a lot of the synergy pieces are in the new set because that's how we build synergy packages. And so there are new cards of every rarity. There are reprints of every rarity. And the decks were designed primarily as a self-contained playable experience rather than as an entry point for an audience.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah. And I mean, I know, again, we talk about this extensively, but we haven't forgotten new players.
Yes.
Yeah, so more to come with that. Cool. Well, let's start talking specifically about the Han Solo leader and the Boba Fett leader spotlight decks. Tyler, do you want to talk us through Han Solo a little bit?
Sure.
Piloting, I'm guessing.
Well, so on the one hand, both of the decks are going to be about piloting.
Yeah.
Piloting's kind of the theme of the whole set to some extent. Han was designed to have a little bit of a cheeky identity, right? Never tell me the odds. So we're going to make a leader that cares about about specifically only cards that have an odd cost.
That's fun. Super fun.
So in this deck, every single card has an odd cost because we know if you're going to play the Odd Cost Matters deck, you're going to go all in. We're not going to give you some accidental non-synergy just to make a point. The deck is, that said, the deck is primarily about the piloting mechanic. It has a bunch of cheap pilots. It has a bunch of cheap spaceships. The pilots, especially by virtue of having a different cost and piloting cost, can help you smooth out your curve because if I have a cheap ship and now my option is to play a 1-cost card and nothing, or a 3-cost pilot, or a 5-cost unit, but I only have 3 resources, great, the pilot's now slotting in. Or if I need to pay a resource to use an ability, and now I have 2 resources left over, oh no, there are no 2-cost cards in the deck. Well, good thing some of the pilots cost 2. You know, that kind of thing.
The piloting ability costs.
The piloting ability. That said, Han is, of course, not a man for whom things always go well. His front side, which I guess I should read the card or show off the card. The front side of Han says you can attack with a unit, or you reveal the top card of your deck, and if it is an odd cost and the unit you attack with has a different odd cost, then you get a power bonus. So it requires you to be all in on the Odd Cost Matters thing, but it doesn't guarantee you that you get a power bonus because Han doesn't have any guarantees in life.
There's no guarantees.
There are no guarantees in life. But then the real power for Han is, of course, when you deploy him, for every odd cost unit or upgrade you have, you get to ready a resource. So probably you're going to ready all your resources and play a bunch more cards.
Fun.
Otherwise, the deck is just a pretty straightforward, aggressive, play cheap things, attack with them with power bonuses, ready your resources, play more things, attack with more things, that kind of thing.
The older designs of Han were just caring about odd cost, but it took away that element of risk and unpredictability to the leader, and also led to same-eater decks. And so one of the additions we did while we were playing was asking players to kind of have this broader range of odd costs to say, like, even if you're trying to play more aggressively, can your deck fit 5 drops? Can your deck fit 7 drops? Probably not, but maybe.
But maybe, why? I mean, try
Yeah.
and see. Yeah, cool. Yeah, really cool.
There are no 7 drops in this deck.
You can put whatever cards you want.
Well, technically, there are no 7 drops in this deck, but there is a card that costs 7
Yeah.
resources to play.
There you go.
Crate Dragon's an odd cost, right? That's a 9.
It's a 9, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, there you go.
Put a Crate Dragon in there.
Why not?
Why not? Yeah, mod it out. Yeah, absolutely. MJ, before we move on to you, we got a question in the chat about reprints. Reprints of every rarity, including legendaries.
I do not remember on Legendary, but I know we have
yeah,
rares.
That's
yeah.
fair.
Yeah.
There are no legendaries in these pre-constructed decks.
Yeah,
That would make them distinctly less legendary.
fair enough. Oh, actually, Tyler, do you want to? We have a couple of other pretty cool cards. Do you want to show off some cards that you pulled out from the Han Solo leader
Yeah,
deck?
let's do
Yeah.
it. In fact, I picked out 2 pilots to show off. Both of them have odd costs, and both of them technically have even cost piloting costs, although one of them is me cheating a little bit.
Wow, we'll count it.
So first let's show off Han Solo's friend, I guess Chewbacca's friend, really.
Yeah.
It's Boshek.
Yeah.
You remember him?
Cool.
He told Obi-Wan to go talk to Han and Chewie over there in the corner. And he is all in on Han's theme. Boshek is a straightforward 3/4 unit if you want to play him, but if you're going to play him as a pilot, then he's going to draw you probably 2 cards, which is a huge swing.
Yeah, 2 resources to draw 2 and get a +1/+2 upgrade is
that's huge.
really good value over a lot of the draw reference points we've established thus far.
Yeah, and obviously he requires you to build a specific deck in order to really maximize it, but
All the best cards
so does
show.
Han. So yeah.
Right, exactly. So you're leaning into that even more with that. That's cool.
But that's not the only pilot we got. Because R2 is here. So, of course,
That.
we have a set full of piloting and a set full of spaceships. We wanted R2-D2 to be in this set. R2-D2. So there is a rule built into the piloting mechanic that when you put a pilot on a vehicle, you can't put a pilot on a vehicle that already has a pilot on it. There is a soft 1 pilot per ship limit. As we've seen from the Millennium Falcon that was already previewed, there occasionally will be cards that break that rule. Specifically, the Falcon and R2-D2 are the 2 cards that do it. This was R2-D2 wants to fly in the ship with Luke, and
Yeah.
so we want to let you put R2-D2 and Luke in the ship together.
Well, it's very thematic. And, yeah, and it also, kind of soft breaks that mechanic, which is really interesting.
And you know what else it does? It lets you go really tall on the Falcon's
I was
have a
about to
pilot
say,
payoff.
if you
Yes.
put R2 on the Falcon, you can still fit 2 more pilots because they each are additional, not static changes.
That's really cool.
And if you remember, the Falcon says +1/+0 for each pilot on it. So this Falcon can hit for a lot if you are going to load it up, which maybe we'll see later.
Do you remember the point where I tried to ask if we could make the Falcon have an infinite pilot limit? And was like, there's the people in the turrets. And
Yeah,
someone in the
yeah.
back cheering them on.
The secret is that I was on that team with you.
Oh, yeah.
Theoretically, there are a lot of
We-
spots on
we-
this ship that you could be sitting.
We made that case, and we were in the minority, but it was a fun case to make. Yeah.
It's a fun design space to be in, though. As you think about, designing units for these very, very large ships. I mean,
Yeah.
theoretically, there could be a lot of pilots, so that's kind of fun.
Yeah, and we actually talked about that quite a lot because there's a certain amount of abstraction going on here. The pilot limit feels natural if you're in a starfighter, right? Because there's literally in an X-wing only one person's going to fit,
Right.
so really you can only have one pilot. However, in a capital ship, you could have an infinite number of pilots, really.
Right.
And so what
does it mean to pilot
does it mean to pilot something, right?
Yeah,
Exactly.
Interesting. Yeah.
And so we talked about that, and one of the things that kept coming up was that if there was this 1 pilot per ship limit, then the gameplay was actually better.
Yeah.
It wasn't just the theme; it was also that we could make the pilots a little bit stronger, and there was a more of a reason to have more space units in play because that meant more ships for your pilots to go in, and the opportunity cost of once I put a pilot in a ship, now I'm locked into that pilot in that ship, right? So I have to engage strategically with that a little bit more. Meant that the gameplay was strong enough that we were like, okay, so how are we going to justify this whole 1 pilot per capital ship business? And the basic gist is that at least our take on it was that there's only 1 person behind the controls. Admiral Akbar may be issuing the orders, but he's not the one piloting the ship.
Sure.
It's also a simplicity thing.
It's also a simplicity thing.
Yeah.
Some
absolutely.
questions we've got so far.
Yeah.
Do you have to play R2 first or second? I believe it says the vehicle can have an additional pilot, but I'm not certain.
So R2D2 and the Falcon both, I guess in R2D2's case, which is more relevant, you'll notice that there are two abilities here, which both kind of say the same thing. And that's because we needed to make sure it worked before you played him as a pilot and also after you played him as a pilot. The short answer is it works the way you want. We just had to write twice as many words in the code to make that true.
Yeah, sequences, the sequence does not matter there. Someone else was asking if pilots gave traits to their ships. They do not. We tried it. It was cool.
It was cool. I personally loved the idea of my Force user made my ship into a Force unit. But it was
fascinating.
extremely
That's fun.
it was extremely complicated to try to explain how that worked and also why it worked. So we ended up not doing it because people were having. It was too unintuitive for too many people, even though I personally thought it was really cool.
That's why you're the creative lead.
Yeah,
right. That's really cool. MJ,
What's up?
do you want to talk us through Boba Fett Spotlight Deck?
Yeah, so we've got Boba Fett here. I can hand over Boba Fett Leader to you to show off to the good people at home.
I'll do the
Boba Fett
Do your
is a
best
leader that cares a
influencer
lot
with the
about
hand moving.
non-combat damage. This could be like damage from an open fire. It can also be damage from like daring raid on a base. And critically, it also includes indirect damage. The new type of damage we have in the set. Indirect damage is dealt directly to a player, and that player assigns it as they want across their own units and base. That does count as triggering Boba Fett here. As such, the Boba Fett deck is full of both a lot of things that are good at pings, putting like one damage somewhere or getting damage broadly spread across someone's board, and also rewarding you for having damaged enemy units. Much like Han, there's a kind of normal, static, vanilla body if you put it on the ground, and if you deploy it as an upgrade, Boba Fett gets to deal 4 damage distributed as you like among any number of units, which is a very, very strong payoff once you have that indirect damage, covering the field. You can turn a lot of these damaged units into like a one-sided board wipe and really take over a game.
Yeah, interesting.
indirect damage has this strategic disadvantage, I guess you could say, of, well, if I'm going to deal a bunch of, if my opponent gets to choose where the damage goes, they can just put it in places where it's irrelevant.
Yes.
Right?
It will always go in the place you least want it.
And so if they have a 4 cost, if they have a 4 health unit and I'm going to deal them 3 indirect damage, and I have a 3/3, then they're incentivized to put all 3 of the damage on their 4 health unit. So now it's a 4/1, and now even though I have this cool 3/3, a bunch of the damage is wasted when they trade.
Yep.
Right.
So then Boba Fett deploys and says, "Haha, a 1 health unit. I love this."
I'm gonna get you. Yeah.
Yep.
That's really, really cool.
Yeah, it's when you asked like who wants to hold which deck for this, I was like, give me Boba Fett. I get to make a lot of big numbers happen.
And I don't need to make a million micro decisions.
You make the decisions.
Yeah.
It's so fun.
It's cool.
Like I love cards that ask your opponent to decide things, like I am your father and stuff. It's really good for table storytelling and just being a goof.
Well, and changing the pacing of what's going on the board too, where like you might have, your next projected 4 moves, or like, well, and then it's like, oh man, now I have to get rid of this 1/1, and now your plans need to change and adapt. So that's it's fun. Very cool.
I also appreciate how mechanics that involve both players making decisions decrease the predictability and increase the replayability of games.
Yes.
I can't just say I'm always going to do X, Y, Z in that order. I might go X, Y, but then because my opponent decides what happens with Y, now I can't do Z anymore because they still have the unit that I thought was going to be defeated or whatever.
Right.
Quick question we had in chat. Someone was asking, can I deal all indirect damage to a single unit? You can only assign as much as it would be able to take. Indirect damage is also unpreventable, very specifically, so that it does not get weird with shielded units. You cannot put 10 indirect damage on a crafty smuggler. Not allowed.
Nope. But you can put 2.
You can't put 2.
Someone was asking me on social media recently about how it interacts with Chirrut, who can have any amount of damage without being defeated. And the answer is he can take as much damage as he has remaining health. He still will not be defeated, but you can't put 6 damage on your 3 health Chirrut. You can only put 3 damage on your Chirrut, and then if you want to do extra damage beyond that, you got to go somewhere else.
Got it. Interesting. Okay. Yeah.
Well, so yeah, I also have 2 cards from this Boba Fett deck to show to people. There's 2 cards I
Okay.
really like a lot. We're going to start with the pretty cool one and then go to the very cool one.
Yeah.
This artwork.
This is one of my favorite commons in the set. This is TIE Bomber. It's a 2-cost villainy space unit. It's a 0/4 Imperial vehicle fighter that says on attack, deal 3 indirect damage to the defending player. I play this card all the time whenever I can get it. If you squint, it's like a 2.
If you squint, it's a
2/3/4, but it very often does not do what you want. It's a little unpredictable, and critically in a set full of space units, that 0 power or raid or anything like that really matters.
But you know what else is cool about this card for being in the set that it's in? A 4 health space unit carries pilots like an absolute champ.
Oh yeah.
Like you put, okay, sure, yeah, you have 0 power or whatever, but like you're not gonna defeat that TIE bomber before I get to put a pilot on it, and now it's a real threat.
And then the pilot's probably giving it power, so it's no longer
Exactly.
0 power.
Exactly.
That has been my opening play in so many draft tests of this game. Is just me
Turn 1 bomber.
picking draft bombers way too early, like pack 1, pick 1, common TIE bomber. Like give it to me, please.
That's so fun.
It's also really great art. Put it back. Put it back.
Oh, put it
I
back.
want to show the art. It's good.
The art is
okay.
very good.
I got it.
Look how geometric and stylized this painterly TIE bomber
Yeah,
is.
yeah.
I love it. You can add it back now. I just wanted to call it out because it looks
something
really
that-
nice.
Something that the audience probably doesn't know is that it's been extremely cold and dry here lately. So all of the cards are slightly curled because of the humidity.
That and my lips are so chapped. We have another card here. I think this is a card a lot of people are going to be excited to see. It's a character we've done before, but not as a unit. We have done him as a leader.
Yeah, famously
Famously as a leader.
Infamously, even.
He is a
This
villain.
is IG-88. IG-88
pilot
is
good.
a rare. I think the rarity is covered up by
yeah, I
the
think
guy.
he- I
But
think he's a rare.
IG-88's a 5-cost aggression villainy 4/5. Murderous flute droid. I think
4 or 5.
4 or
Yeah,
4 or 5.
You gave the
Just squint.
subtitle to this. What's a flute droid?
I don't know, whatever IG-88 is. He calls himself that in the comics.
Okay, so yeah, IG-88 here is a 4/5, which doesn't look like a great stat line for a 5-cost, 2-aspect unique, but both his ground side and his pilot side are saying, while an enemy unit is damaged, this unit gets +3/+0. So that is a potentially 5/7/5 on the ground, and
Or
the
a
modal option of a 2/3/3
2/3/3 upgrade.
piloting.
Sorry, that's a 2-cost 3/3 upgrade that also can attack the turn you play it.
IG-88
you play it on a ready
sick.
unit.
Yeah.
People want their good IG-88. Here it is.
And it is a rare. Yeah.
Do you? How are you going to get damaged units on your opponent's side of the board, MJ?
Maybe it has something to do with using my leader's ability.
Whoa! No way.
Maybe.
Awesome. Well, before we hop into gameplay, I saw one final question from the chat, just about clarification with indirect damage.
Oh yeah.
Indirect damage and shields. How does that work? Bypasses the shield?
Bypasses it, yeah.
Bypasses
We
the
brought it up.
shield?
We brought it
Yep.
up
The short
briefly.
answer is it
Okay.
bypasses the shield. The long answer
Fabulous.
is that because it's unpreventable, then the shield is unable to prevent it, and when the shield fails to prevent it, it also doesn't see the condition of if I prevented damage, the shield goes away. So the shield fails to prevent the damage, doesn't do anything, so it doesn't fall off, importantly, and the damage just goes through. Basically, we were like, we need this to not be irrelevant, and also we don't want people to be punished, right? Because the other thing that we didn't want was for you to be like, haha, unpreventable damage goes on your shielded unit, and all of your shields fall off, and also don't block anything. So we're like, you get to keep the shields, but They don't do
I don't
anything.
think we have a shielded. I'm trying to think if we have like a shielded grit unit, but hypothetically that would be a very.
That would be
there you go.
Ooh, that would
Like
be cool.
look through the card pool and see. I
Yeah.
need to make that happen.
Write it down for later.
Speaking
Yeah.
of speaking of
I'm
shields,
gonna
Yeah.
leave and go get my computer.
speaking of shields, the Spotlight decks come with tokens, just like all the starter decks did before. They come with the new shields and experience. They do not come with TIE fighters or X-wings, and that is actually it is a little intentional, but it's a lot unintentional. When we built the decks, at the end of building and playtesting the decks, we looked at them and said, there are no X-wings and TIE fighters in these decks. I guess we don't need to make tokens for them in the starters, which is good because we needed all the slots for these.
Well, there you go. Yeah. Actually, a couple more. We have lots of questions today. This is awesome.
Yeah.
How does indirect damage and lurking TIE Phantom?
Ask Ryan.
Oh, we need to ask Ryan. Go get Ryan.
I forget. I don't want to say it wrong. Do you know?
I will go on record now.
Wow.
Lurking TIE Phantom does not prevent the damage. Can't be damaged is the same as prevent the damage. It will be clearer in the next rules update.
Okay. So more to come.
So don't think that you're safe, TIE Phantoms.
Yeah. With the hypothetically
for you.
like correct.
No. Boba Fett is coming for you.
I was like, whoa, hang on.
Boba Fett, he does indirect damage. He's coming for you. Which is funny because his deployed side can't deal the damage to them because it's not indirect damage.
It's not indirect damage. Oh, that's interesting. Awesome. Well, we can go to the top down.
Can I play the game now?
We can start playing the game. Yes, we
Yay,
can play
the
the game.
game.
So as y'all are shuffling up and getting ready, just wanted to let everybody know we are going to have an article that will go live later today after the stream that will have the full deck lists and then just some additional information about interactions in these Spotlight decks. So just more details there. Look for that, I think around 2 p.m. Central today over on StarWarsUnlimited.com.
Yeah.
I'm making so many card game players mad right now.
Oh my gosh, that hurts me. I didn't
I'll do
notice
it
it
if
until you
I'm
said
gonna
it.
do it because you're doing it. It's fun.
Ooh,
Okay.
that, yeah, wow.
I was gonna comment. I appreciate we didn't put sleeves on these because it's the right way to play card games.
Right is subjective.
When has right ever been subjective?
Right is
notably, I don't think
subjective.
we brought this up before. I think these are our first pre-constructed stuff with reprinted bases as well.
Oh,
True.
So we've got Han at Echo Base and Boba Fett at Jabba's Palace, which is cool. I think they're both, right? Because this is
They're
set
both, in,
both
two.
of them.
they're both
Yeah.
in set one.
Yeah.
Oh no, you're right. Jabba's Palace is set
Yeah,
two.
yeah,
Set
yeah.
two.
I could have checked because these are actual reprints with the actual
It has
collector
the set
information.
code right on there.
All right.
Tokens.
You're going to be our damage manager.
I'm gonna
Our
try.
damager.
Damager.
Oh, I'm leaving.
Go get Ryan.
Alicia,
Yes.
you're going first.
Oh, okay. Oh yes, this game. Okay. MJ, you pick.
That one.
Okay.
The closer one.
I was gonna say as you should.
Good choice.
Boba Fett leader goes first.
Sure, I can get behind
Is it
this.
good? Yeah.
I can get behind this. I have to make decisions, and I don't want to make decisions, but here we are. I want all the cards. All the cards are good, Alicia.
Every single card in there is good.
We got
Honestly,
what, we got
yeah.
what we
With the
wanted.
right attitude. Yeah, I mean,
We
yeah.
got what we wanted.
I think this is plan
MJ, you predicted
A. I
it.
think this is plan
Everything's
A.
good.
And then I got to resource the cool new card. I'm sad about it.
Alicia,
Maybe I'll draw
company
another one.
damager.
Oh my gosh. Company damager.
Yeah, that's the spirit. All right.
Companies beware.
Oh
Oh,
no.
no, you need resources. and then we're ready to go.
I do need resources.
Good news.
Yes.
We won't be needing those.
Oh, I got all excited. Well, I have a very specific way I set things up, and so I grabbed our clone trooper and battle droid tokens. But you're right, we're not going to need them.
But soon,
Bye, friends.
maybe in a couple months, we're going to need some X-Wings and TIE Fighters.
I'm ready.
Show us the new
I'm ready.
cards. I should
I
make sure.
was so excited when I saw the X-Wing and TIE Fighter art the first time.
I'm going to play a card while you talk.
Okay.
Yeah, go for it.
It's my boy.
Oh, it's your
Oh,
boy!
MJ.
My bomber.
It's your boy. I'm going to play an odd-costed card.
Weird.
I know, shocking.
Hey.
It's a clone deserter.
What up, Clone Deserter? I love that card.
We love him.
He's a good guy.
He's back from set 2.
I'm going to claim.
Cool. I'm going to play another one-cost card, and it's going to be another clone deserter.
Whoa.
Okay.
I see your 3/4 in space, and I raise you 6 health on the ground.
Do you pass?
I do.
Cool.
So now I'm going to draw 2 cards. Guess what I
I'm like trying
An
to
odd
resource in a way
numbered
that's
card.
good, but also shows people cards.
Ah.
Hero of the
Guess what I
people.
drew? Guess what I drew? Is it an odd costed card?
Is
Yes.
it a yes?
Yes,
You're
it
gonna do
is.
this every turn.
Yes.
No, no.
Commit
No,
to the
the
bit.
the joke is that I drew my 3rd clone deserter.
Oh my gosh. Did you shuffle
Of course I shuffled.
well enough?
Excuse you. They saw me. They saw me and they suffered for it.
We all heard it. That ASMR shuffling.
Are
Yeah,
you ready, kids?
I am.
Okay. I'm going to attack with TIE Bomber and deal you 3 indirect damage.
Like-
And I also get to do the Boba Fett. When
You do
deal
get to do the
non-combat
Boba
damage,
Fett when you do
exhaust
non-combat
to deal
damage.
1 indirect damage. And I choose you to take the indirect
I
damage.
think you will. I'm gonna put it. I'm gonna put 3 of it on Echo Base and 1 on that clone deserter, specifically. I'm gonna use Han Solo. Han Solo says, "Reveal the top card of your deck." Dang it! Then attack with a unit
Let's
if the revealed
go.
card and the unit have different odd costs. I get a power bonus. They don't have different odd costs because they're both 1-drops. But when I lose, the audience wins. Let's show off a new card.
This is Dagger Squadron Pilot, yeah?
Yeah, I gotta get him into the thing.
I like how he like sees he's been caught by a camera. He's like looking up out of a cockpit. Like,
There's not much to say here. It's a vanilla pilot. This is a common in the set. There are a bunch of pilots at common that are either vanilla or very simple. We've seen the Academy pilot who gives Sentinel, and we've seen the whatever the yellow one is that gives Raid.
Yep.
And there's this guy who gives +2/+1 because he's 2 aspects, so he gets to be better. He's also a rebel, which does matter a lot in the right deck. Anyway, he's on top of my deck. I'm going to attack with this Clone Deserter, deal your base 2 damage, restore 1 from my base, and not get an attack bonus.
Okey doke. How would you feel if I played another TIE Bomber?
Okay, both of you.
Oh no. Not happy. Not happy is how I would feel.
Life is good.
I'm going to attack your base for 2 and restore 1.
Here's another new card. I
Oh.
think,
Ooh,
maybe. Question mark?
okay,
First Order Stormtrooper?
It sure is.
Sure is.
Let's show off our cool
first
new
order.
1-drops.
This is another card that I overvalue in
Yep,
draft because
yep.
the art is so good. It's so good.
Wow, that is.
Yeah, this thing pumps out indirect damage, which you kind of
Yeah.
need to do with indirect damage.
He's a bit of a callback to the Death Star Stormtrooper, right? Is close to giving that 3/1. It's a little bit less good on attack than Death Star Stormtrooper, but you get this kind of when defeated clause. So even if your 1 health unit bites the dust, you still get something out of it.
So good, yeah.
And
Still get the
importantly, he triggers Boba Fett every turn.
This
And
is
that
true.
for sure matters.
This is true.
I'm going to pay 3 resources for it. Let's all say it together. An odd costed card.
An odd costed card.
It's Ezra Bridger back from set 1.
Yay!
He's going to draw. He's going to play cards off the top of my deck for me,
Very nice.
I'm gonna claim.
and I will pass. I'm going to draw this Dagger Squadron pilot into my hand,
That is too many cards.
and I'm going to resource this Dagger Squadron pilot.
Oh,
It's okay. The audience got to
it's
see
okay.
it.
It's okay.
The audience got to see it. Fun interaction in this deck. Han Solo reveals the top of my deck. Then I can know when I attack with Ezra whether I'm playing it or not.
Okay, that's really fun.
Because now I know ahead of time what to do with Ezra. Because if I'm not going to play it, then maybe I play something for my hand.
Well, and that feels combo similar to with set 1, C-3PO unit and R2-D2, you know, where you have a way to kind of guess and cheat. And,
Yep,
and
yep.
yeah, that's really fun.
Han sometimes rolls the dice and sometimes cheats at dice.
Classic smuggler.
Start us off.
Classic smuggler. So I'm in a bit of a predicament here because First Order Stormtrooper, if I attack to try and take out that clone deserter, you will just put the indirect damage on it. And so the indirect damage will be kind of wasted. That said, it will deal you another, which is nice.
Yeah, you
and
still
it
get
does
the
get
win
my
defeated.
trigger, which is definitely worth something. So I think I'm still going to do that. I'm going to send First Order Stormtrooper at Clone Deserter and deal you 1 indirect damage.
On attack, I will receive 1 indirect damage.
Yep.
Would you like to
And-
trigger Boba Fett?
Do I get to do that before the attack resolves? I guess I do.
You do.
I
You don't
mean,
have to,
I
because
don't-
if you get defeated, then you'll do it again.
Yeah.
Don't worry, you've got a million indirect damage sources on the board.
I love it. It's so good. Nah.
Great. I
Take
will be
another indirect
defeated.
damage.
You get to collect the bounty while I take 1 damage on my base from indirect.
Bounty is draw cards. So
Bounty is draw card.
And from the second instance of
this
indirect damage
time-
from when defeated, I'm going to use
This
Boba
clone.
Fett later.
I'm just going to move that damage down.
Take another damage.
Yeah, I put it on the
One
top.
more.
Okay.
Now we're going to play the game again. Let's all say it together.
An odd
Odd-costed
costed card.
Okay.
Hey.
Reveal
Okay.
the top card of your deck, then attack with a unit. So, since this costs 1, I'm going to choose to attack with Ezra. I'm going to deal 4 damage to your base because they have different odd cost cards.
Ouch.
Odd costs.
Yep.
And then when Ezra completes an attack, I can play this top card of my deck, and I will. It's a 2/1 rebel on the ground.
A
You're
lot
up.
of guys.
It's a lot of units.
The fact that you can see the card before you choose who you attack with is important to encourage Han to play a variety of costs. Because when I have a variety of costs on the board, then I can make sure it happens more often.
I'm playing an IG-88.
Oh
are.
no, that's a nice.
Hidden by the camera a little bit here.
Oh, here we go.
That's a nice 3/7 TIE bomber.
Oh yeah. 3/7 deal 3 indirect TIE bomber. It has
It's
so
fine.
many bombs.
It's fine.
It's fine.
Everything's so.
It's fine.
Interesting point here, actually. When that TIE bomber attacks, I'm going to take 3 indirect damage. I could put 2 of it on this deserter and 1 on my base and end up with no damaged units, and then
Correct.
you're going to lose the power bonus.
Oh, interesting.
That might be strategically important. You know what else is strategically important is restoring 1 damage from my base and dealing 2 to yours.
Okay, you can go up to 10 for me.
Oh, thank you.
I do not have healing in my regular attack.
No, you have punch.
Believe it or not.
I love punch. I'm in the pocket of big punch. Makes it sound like drink, you know?
Yeah,
Oh,
right?
it does, yeah.
Okay. Is it me?
It is.
All right. Here's, I think, another new card. Have they seen Dengar yet?
They have not
They
seen
have
Dengar
not.
Well,
It's
they're
okay.
gonna now.
yet. They're gonna now. It's Dengar.
Everyone ring your Dengar bell. It's Dengar.
He is an uncommon in the set. Big 5/4 on the ground, and he wants to be on underworld spaceships, or I guess underworld vehicles. He does indirect damage when he attacks,
And some more really cool art.
and some more really cool art.
Yeah.
Here he is. Oh no!
Oh yeah.
Oh, yes!
no.
Look
Oh,
how,
yes!
Look how freaking thematic this is. Other than them flying TIE bombers.
We did it.
Yeah.
I would like to pass without claiming.
Okay. That's sus.
Every time, it's always sus.
Take 5 indirect damage. Oh, and 1 damage to base.
Take 1 damage to base and 5 indirect damage. Oh, this is bad. I was feeling good until this happened. We will assign 2 of it to this clone deserter and 3 of it to my base.
Raise your
Woof.
Dengars.
This clone deserter will be defeated by indirect damage, and you may collect the bounty.
Sick.
Cool.
They did appear in the same movie as TIE bombers. This is true.
Tyler, we got a question about Ezra's ability. So when playing a pilot off of the Ezra unit's ability, can you play it as a pilot upgrade
Yes.
as well? You can?
The short answer is
Yeah.
yes. The long answer is Ezra just says play the card,
Yeah.
and then piloting is an alternate way by which you could play the card.
Got
If
it.
it's
cool.
non-distinct and says play a card, you can choose either mode. If it says play a unit, you cannot play the piloting mode.
And if it says play an upgrade, you can't play it as a unit.
Correct.
So I'm going to take my turn now. I'm going to just show you my ground arena where there are no damaged units, so that when I pay 3 resources for blue leader, and he ambushes this TIE bomber, it does no damage to him.
Sad.
Sad.
Okay. Why do you hate IG-88?
Because he is scary.
That's a good reason. It's a pretty good
he's a
reason.
That's a pretty good reason.
Murderous flute droid.
He's a murderous flute droid.
Part of me kind of just wants to claim, but I don't think that's the right call. You could technically hit me with blue leader and take out IG, which I don't love.
Incorrect. You have 7 health.
You could use Han.
Oh,
ability
I could
if
use
you
Han.
take
Yes,
initiative
yes,
next
you're
turn. You know what? I like numbers. Let's do it.
Yeah, big numbers.
Cool.
Take
Don't
3
worry.
indirect.
All of it's going on my base.
Oh, good.
As long as IG is there, you're right. I'm not going to take the risk. I will claim.
Yep, I pass. You will claim, please. Just waiting here.
Please give me the initiative. I'm going to point out, as we draw our cards and resource, that Han Solo deploys when I have 5 resources, and Boba Fett deploys when you have 6 resources.
Thank you. We got a question in the chat if we could get a close-up of Blue Leader.
I don't think they've seen the normal art for this,
Only
have
the
they?
prestige
yeah,
version.
they saw the prestige
Yep,
Blue
isn't
Leader.
it
I think it's on the
beautiful?
website.
Believe
but
it is on the
we
website.
definitely
Yeah.
haven't
Blue Leader is sick nasty.
shown it off. This card rocks. I love this card so much.
Gorgeous.
I am always trying to find ways to cram more arena switching shenanigans into my cards. Stay tuned for, I don't know, a year or two.
I was going to say.
Yeah, wow, that's gorgeous.
Okay, I got to resource a card.
I also have to resource a card.
I mean, you don't have to. Should. Probably should.
No, I do have to.
No, you do have to. Okay.
Okay, so here's the plan. The plan is to resource this this cartel turncoat that I'm not going to play. And who needs leaders anyway? Are you ready to rumble?
I am.
Please don't be a 3-drop. Don't be a 3-drop. Yay, R2D2, we're doing it. Blue leader's going to get in there and take out IG-88.
This is the problem with TIE bombers, everyone.
Sometimes they have 0 power.
This is the problem. Yeah. Buyer beware. TIE bombers. They sure got 0 power.
Save the receipt.
Well, and it's extra funny on account of the fact that you've been loading up all these pilots on your bombers, but the pilots technically don't add power. They just add more
IG on
indirect
bomber
damage.
is extra spicy. Yeah.
Yeah. That just says all damage on base all the time, and I just have to try to race.
All
Try to
right.
hope that I am not going to lose the race.
I'm gonna swing for 1 on your base.
Plus 5?
And 3, 4, 5 indirect.
Plus 5 indirect?
Yeah.
See, this is where I don't feel good about it anymore. That said, Boba Fett's not coming out this turn.
Person in chat asking how Blue Leader is not taking any damage. IG only gives power conditionally, and the TIE bombers got no power to speak of.
That's 5. Boy, 5 is a lot. I think the plan is to put 3 on Ezra.
Okay.
These decks are so fun. I think these are my
are
favorite
great.
like pre-con since set 1, personally. They get really goofy really fast.
Well, and you can definitely tell there is a power upgrade
Yeah,
between these
for
and the
sure.
2-player starter again
sure.
because they're aimed more at a little bit more experienced players. So
Yeah, someone was asking if there are 3-ofs in the decks. More 3-ofs. We have 3-of uncommons. Because we're
wow.
like,
Is there 3 clone deserters? I'm trying to remember.
yeah,
yes.
the third one's right here.
Oh yeah. Resource it.
But like, there are some uncommons. There are some uncommons from set 1 in that deck that are 3-ofs. You can probably guess what they are.
probably guess.
Someone wants to know, how do pilots not have power? Their upgrades, Resilient doesn't give power. That's an upgrade.
You're right.
Yeah.
Yeah, that might be a
IG-88,
five.
the resilient of characters.
The most resilient flute droid.
Resilient flute droid's not coming yet. We can't talk about that. You do a cycle of 4 IG-88s in like each aspect. That'd be
Oh, it's fun.
a complete waste of 3 card slots.
I don't know what I'm supposed to do here.
Oh, I
no, I
totally
do.
forgot
I
to
do.
do
I'll waste time. I'll attack your base for 2 with this
Cool,
Tiger
cool,
Squadron
cool,
pilot.
cool. I forgot to do my Boba thing, but it's okay.
You want to?
You want to do it?
Nah,
Because
nah,
I haven't
nah,
taken
nah,
your
nah.
turn.
No.
We're just.
I'll just put 1 extra damage on my
friendly
base.
game.
No, don't do it.
Don't do
Okay.
it. Okay.
This is how we learn.
I think they have more damage in
How
the
did
wings.
you guess?
Oh!
Can we get a close-up of
Ding,
this?
Ding, 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 ding.
Everyone,
We're just hyping all of the artwork, but my goodness,
It's
that-
good art.
it's really
This
good
set
art. It's
has-
also a really good card.
You see like
It is
a
also
little
very
bit of Cloud City right in the back right corner there.
gorgeous.
Sick reflections. It looks good.
Yeah.
Looks good.
So I'm going to point out here as I put this back. You're going to deal 2 damage, right? Because you have Boba Fett leader.
That's right.
I'm going to put 2 of it on my
so-
base.
And you're gonna get a third one.
And then I'm going to 3rd one on my base.
Okay.
Note that, like, for having a bunch of 0 power units, I'm losing the race right now.
You are.
And I'm not happy about it. I am going to play the Millennium Falcon.
All right. I'm gonna Daring Raid take out.
No, Ezra!
Oh,
No! I needed
I
you.
don't like Ezra.
No, R2D2, you were going to get in the Falcon. Okay, fine. I'm going to deploy my leader.
You get to ready a
Right.
whole bunch of resources if you put it on.
If I have 5 or more resources, choose one. I'm going to deploy this leader as an upgrade on a friendly vehicle without a pilot on it.
Oh my
Han
goodness.
Is getting in the Falcon.
we did it.
Love it.
We did
it,
Star Wars.
gang.
When deployed as an upgrade for each friendly unit or upgrade with an odd cost, ready a resource. Odd count is 4. I will ready
Wow.
3 resources.
All right, I'm gonna claim.
Unfortunately, there's not much more I can do with it. So I will just pay 3 resources to play Admiral Akbar. That's a set 1 rare.
All you got was three free resources.
3 free resources. Actually, 1 really, because I just wasted these 2.
Sure.
We're gonna put 2 damage on the fire spray, I think.
Okie doke.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hansa, this is a 7/8.
Yeah, 7,
so
8 now.
All right, you good to go?
we're in business. Yeah, we are good to go. I will draw this R2D2 into my hand, and I will resource this card because it's a unique that's already in play. Okay, I'm just going to cover up Han here because his when deployed, I guess his attached unit is a leader is active, so I will leave it visible. I personally like to do this if the text doesn't matter, but the text does matter. The Falcon is my leader. Han Solo is also my leader. They are leaders together. And you have the initiative.
We got another question in the chat just about how the new R2 unit works.
Yeah.
So again, if let's say R2 was already on the Millennium Falcon, the Han leader can deploy onto it, correct? Yeah.
You may play or deploy one
That's
additional
very
pilot.
cool.
R2 also says you may play or deploy. The short answer is the way you want it to work is the way it works.
Yeah.
Because we thought this through. We put more words on the card so it would work the way you wanted.
Lots of testing.
Okay.
All right,
I don't
MJ, take us away.
love that Falcon can take out bomber or fire spray. It's uncool.
It's very uncool of it.
It's not cash money at all.
I was waiting.
I think we're just going to keep up the beat down. I'm going to put 4 on your base and do
Ooh.
3 indirect. An instance of 2 indirect and an instance of 1 indirect.
Akbar
All right,
has
Akbar.
one job, and that is to soak up bomber damage. Okay, so I know you really like TIE bombers. So what if you had to wait for a little bit to use your TIE bomber? I'm going to play a new card.
Exciting.
New card.
No,
Look,
it's fun.
look, it's the Mandalorian.
This card's so sweet.
So
This is an uncommon
This is an
Mandalorian.
uncommon Mandalorian. I want to
Total
show
draft
off.
bomb.
I
Very
wanna-
strong card.
Yeah, this card rips in draft. I'm going to point out a few things. This card is yellow resource aspects. It is a 5/6 that exhausts 2 ground units when you play it. That's really good in a yellow, a double yellow tempo deck. But if you're not a double yellow tempo deck, the piloting cost only has one cunning aspect icon. So I can play this for 2 on a space unit. Spoiler alert, it's going to be the Falcon. And he can exhaust 1 unit in the arena, which the arena is space. This Mandalorian is going to hop in the cockpit with Han Solo.
Oh my
He's going to
goodness.
exhaust a unit in the same arena. It's going to be that TIE bomber. There are now 2 pilots in the Falcon. And the Mandalorian, by the way, also gives +3/+1.
Very spicy, power-weighted stat line.
So how powerful is your leader right now?
Ask me again.
don't
Ask
Oh
me
wait.
again soon.
Oh wait. Okay.
Is that 11 power?
My
3,
goodness.
6, 9, 10, 11. Yes.
Good God.
Casual
This is the
11.
part where I tell everyone that I've resourced multiple No Good to Be Deads because they're old cards. And we like new cards.
You fool!
Everyone, y'all, they should thank me. I'm doing this for y'all. You're welcome. Okay.
Man, that would be a blowout.
Here's Bosk.
He's on the ground.
He's on the ground. This is a ground Bosk. This is your standard ground Bosk.
Your standard ground boss? Yeah. They've seen him, but we'll show him off again anyway because he's cool.
Look at him crossing his arms. He's
He
sassy here.
Also exhausts people
yeah.
when he attacks them.
And deals 1 damage.
And he deals 1
Which
damage.
is useful
for
the
Boba
leader
then.
card that Bosk comes with.
I know you said 13. You said 11. But what
Yeah.
if it was 13? Because
Oh my
R2D2 is
goodness.
also R2D2 is also in the Falcon together.
Oh,
We're all friends. We're all friends. Look at us. Look at us all being friends together.
this is
in
so
this-
whack.
13 power Millennium Falcon. This is the dream that I had when we made this set.
This is insane.
Okay, all right. I'm gonna deploy Boba Fett on his fire spray. Look, we both did the thing.
Yay!
Oh,
would you
that's
like?
fun.
How would you like to distribute your 4 damage?
Honestly, I think I put it all on Falcon.
Great.
Put it on the Falcon.
I mean, I think the other option is Blue Leader Dragger Squadron probably, but here it is, 4 damage on the Falcon. Fear not, I will deal 13 damage to your
Oh
base.
my goodness.
Thanks.
13. Okay, MJ, my friend, you are 25.
School bus assembled.
Yep. Clown car assembled. You know, Han, Mando, and R2 would be a hilarious, like, single side adventure episode of a
Okay.
TV show.
That would be very
I
good.
now need to claim because if I don't, Tyler will immediately win on the backswing. So
I will
claim, and
put
then you
3
defeat
damage
me
on your
anyways.
base to put you at
That's
lethal with the dagger
that's a
squad.
good game. It's a good
Wow,
game.
wow, wow. Okay.
Handshakes.
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 This is terrifying.
So welcome to pilots.
Isn't it a blast?
Welcome to
Isn't it a
pilots.
blast?
The number of
Oh my
units that will be
goodness.
swinging for double digits power after Jump to Lightspeed releases is going to go up quite a lot.
Yeah. Once it was a dream.
It is the only
Now
deck,
it is a reality.
it is the only deck Danny makes anymore, even though we're several sets ahead. He just keeps bringing back how much damage can I swing with 1 unit on like turn 3.
It's fun. Yeah. Well, I think we have just enough time to run it back.
Yeah.
If both of you have enough time. If
Sure.
our friends at home have enough time.
Would you like to switch decks or run it back as is?
I really like Boba Fett. I'm willing to play Han, but I do like putting lots of numbers on the board, and
Let's
Boba
run it
Fett
back.
does that. All right, cool.
I'm willing to play.
I'm willing to do it.
I got, and this time, don't resource your no good to me duds. That's the lesson.
Unless figure it out.
Unless I don't get to have units.
Then, yeah.
Because, like, you know.
Yeah, you consistently had 2 to 3 units out at least.
Indirect damage,
Especially-
famously not very good at
Yeah.
making sure you don't have units.
How much damage did you get on my base there?
There
almost
are not starter
almost
decks
20.
for
18?
Jump to Lightspeed. Someone's asking just Spotlight decks for Jump to Lightspeed.
Yeah, note to be sure, there was 18 damage on my base at the end of that game.
Yeah.
Like, I wasn't entirely in the clear.
I
I
could
just
have
had,
swung for 8 plus, 2 indirect. So
jump to Lightspeed. Sort of the way, one of the ways I would describe the experience of playing this set is that it is very, both players build a big weapon really fast and punch each other with it.
I have tried to allude a lot, even before we were talking about Step 4, about the truly wild limited format, limited environment for this set.
Oh, I think this is maybe one of my favorite limited formats we've ever made.
Thank
Wow.
you.
Yeah.
Truly a lot of very bizarre things.
It's so
I
much
don't like
fun.
say the name of a card because I can, and people just figure it out anyways. It's a common, that's fine, right?
Yeah,
Yeah, there's a
What's
barrel
the card?
roll. I
Oh,
don't
yeah,
think
the
we've
barrel
shown
roll.
barrel roll.
Fun.
A clutch barrel roll to win a game is the most like I am playing a space flight sim Star Wars thing you could possibly do. I don't think we're going to open the packs because they hate me. I asked, they said no.
No.
They said if anyone else had asked, it was yes.
I did say that.
Yeah. It's really, really rude.
No, it wasn't me. It wasn't me. Oh yeah, it was me.
No, I'm sorry, it was me. You just gotta ask me 3 times. No, we aren't. We're not gonna open the packs. I'm
you have the
sorry.
initiative.
What we're focusing on today is just showing off all of the cards that are in Spotlight Leaders. Again, we are. right in the middle of preview season. So some of those cards haven't been spoiled yet. So we're just gonna wait.
This is
I
funny.
think
This
we-
time I drew almost all reprints.
Oh,
so
that's fun.
Now we're kind of playing the yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna be honest. This hand is so much worse than my
You
last
know what would
one,
have been
and I
sweet
don't know if I'm supposed to
against your
mulligan.
Falcon would have been a notice
That
integration.
notice integrations, yeah.
Oh.
When you started that sentence of resourcing to No Good to Me Dads, I thought you were going to say notice integrations. I was like, because I had 4, 8, 9, 10. I had 10 health. 10 health on that thing. Just 3 cost, casual deal 9, flip your leader, delete it. Yeah.
We've got some questions in chat. If you're at the pilot limit, you cannot put a different pilot onto it. At some point, we were trying that in testing. I'm pretty certain, yeah, we cut that out.
No, but.
No? Okay.
The answer is no, but.
No, but.
No, you cannot put a new pilot to replace the old pilot. But if you use a card ability, like the Mandalorian Gauntlet in set 2, that moves upgrades around,
Oh, sure.
The pilot limit is specifically connected to like the keyword or the deploy method. So you could hypothetically, using upgrade moving, get around the 1 pilot limit.
Interesting. Okay. Another question that we have just about piloting,
I'm gonna mulligan.
specifically about the tech unit. How does that work with pilots?
it doesn't.
It doesn't. That short
I forget
answer.
I forget what text specific text is, but if it says play a card, it still only plays the ground side, right?
Okay.
Because
So tech gives all your resources smuggle.
sure, and smuggle's
and-
a different
and
is another alternate.
Smuggle is a smuggle and piloting are both alternate ways to play a card, and you can't use multiple alternate ways at the same time.
They essentially they don't stack, or you can't combine. Okay.
Someone asked if
It's
you can
an
pilot
either or, not a-
Wampa
Got it.
in this set. We could have if I got my way. I really, really wanted to do a Yoda that says this unit can pilot non-vehicles, so Yoda can ride on someone's shoulders. It didn't happen. but
That's really unfortunate.
maybe
but-
if we all cross our fingers together.
Maybe in the future.
Listen, if you're depending on how much text you're willing to put on the card, anything is theoretically possible.
Anything is possible.
Text is going to be like.
It
Exactly.
may really upset Danny, but it is possible.
Get Danny in here. Danny's here.
Just start shouting from the recording booth.
All right. This is round 2. This better be closer to my first hand and further, and not closer to my second hand. I am locked into it. This is closer to my first hand. That's good. We like that. Okay. Start us
Ready?
off.
I'm going to
Show
play
me.
a Zygerian Starhopper. I think we've already shown this card, but for those that aren't
Yep.
watching, it's a 2/2/3, and it says when defeated, deal 2 indirect damage to a player.
That's fun.
And if your name is Boba Fett, deal 3 indirect damage.
That, yes. I was about to be like, no, that is not what it says. And then
I got you. we got there. I'm going to play a 2/1 in space. It's a Wolfpack Escort. We've seen it in set 3.
Sure have.
I'll claim.
Hmm.
Someone would like me to be on all streams from now on. How do you feel about that, Alicia? Can
Ask-
you make that happen?
Ask Xander.
So here's the deal. Here's the deal. I have a 2/1 and you have a 2/3. I don't want my 2/1 to die. So Nia Num is going to climb in the Wolfpack Escort
Heck
and
yeah.
give it
Fun.
+1/+2. So it is now a 3/3. And that will be all.
Sweet. I got a new card that maybe people haven't seen to show off. That's what we like.
What am I doing, Alicia?
Well, let me see. Oh,
what am I
what's-
doing?
What's going on in your hand? Oh boy.
This is where I'm sad that my pilot can't allow me to have more pilots.
I think this is yeah.
The answer is this. And
Yeah.
It's unfortunate.
That is
Start us off.
unfortunate.
Okay.
Unless you have a trick, you
Pardon
cannot
me?
defeat my 3/3.
Part of me kind of just wants to run into it anyways.
Yeah.
To do like 3 interact. I don't know.
Okay.
Yeah, let's do it.
Yeah.
Great.
Go for it.
I will take 2. You will assign 2 indirect damage to me. I will put it on my base, and
And then
then
you'll do a 3rd indirect damage and also put it on your base. Yep.
you are correct. Han Solo will activate, and I will reveal a not 1-drop. Dang it. Please take 3 damage.
Oobly.
Gladly. I'm going to play Houndstooth.
Oh no.
Have we talked
No.
about Houndstooth with people yet?
I don't know. I think so, but just in case.
I know we have. I don't believe we've shown it on stream. So
This is another special rarity
really
exclusive
cool.
to the Boba Fett box, along with Bosk. Makes sense. It's Bosk's ship, for those that don't know. Houndstooth is a big old rectangle that says while attacking an exhausted unit that didn't enter play this phase, this unit deals combat damage before the defender, kind of the same effect as a shoot first event.
But it's a 3-cost 4/3 in space.
It is
So
a very solid stat line.
the floor
good
very
value.
high.
Yeah.
Given that, I am going to play a unit. Which unit will it be? That is a great question that I do not have an answer to.
Sandcrawler
It
in
will.
space. That's
It
really
will
good.
cost 3. It will cost 3. I promise you that.
Tyler. Sandcrawler in space. I've never seen that before,
Yeah.
and now I'm
Oh, that's
never
and now
not
it's the
going to
only
see
thing you
that.
will see. Well, since any 4-power space unit, 4-health space unit I play will just be defeated, we'll play Hu Yang. He's
Yang.
back. He's back from set 3. He's going to give a couple buffs to this Nia Num Wolfpack escort.
It's rude. I'll claim.
You betcha. Draw this Clone Deserter and this other card.
and another card. Okay. Well, ooh.
We could
I
do
mean,
the thematic
oh.
thing.
Am I going to the ground in this game?
I don't think it's a good idea, but it's funny. It's always the real question to ask.
If MJ
I mean, I
wants
always
to
play for the
take out
memes,
my
but-
Nia Num, if MJ wants to take out my Nia Num, then we're trading spaceships, and that's unfortunate but acceptable. If I'm gonna play another spaceship, then it probably gets defeated by Houndstooth. I think, but I do need ships in play in order to pilot them. That's the problem.
This is a huge part of the limited environment as well. Is like people will be drafting some like pretty weak turn 1 space plays just to have
Just
a
to have
higher potential.
a thing to pilot.
Yeah, both on the first turn and also, you know, in the future, generally people will often have too many pilots and have to start writing them on the ground because the math works out weird.
Yeah, and it's unfortunate because I do want more pilots to go with my Nia Num, even if they're on the ground. We're going to resource that card and hope it's the right call. Start us off.
Sweet. It's always really hard to tell who's the beatdown in this matchup.
Right?
Because like Boba puts so much damage on base, but Han goes so fast. Both kind of like mid-rangier, like higher ceiling aggro decks in a way that is a fun play against each other. We actually didn't build the Spotlight decks as explicitly to like play well together and like be thematically linked. It's nice when they do, but
Oh, interesting.
it is not as high of a priority as it was when it's like a single box and you really expect that out of it.
Yeah, with the 2-player starters.
But I really think that these are a fun kind of like it's a tense awkwardness trying to figure out where to go under or over someone.
Well, and it's because aggro mirrors in this game are really interesting and, and unpredictable.
My like first set 1 draft after the set came out was me and my opponent were taking empty deck damage as Sabine and Leia,
Oh my goodness.
which
Wild.
okay, I should play the game. I think I'm going to take out Wolfpack Escort. I think I'm just going to do it.
Yeah,
Okay.
that makes sense
Do some
to me.
crazies.
The coast is now clear for the Millennium Falcon.
They're back.
Here's Fett's Fire Spray.
No, not like this.
Take 3 indirect damage in an instance of 2 and an instance of 1.
MJ,
Yes.
rude. Hu Yang takes 3 damage.
That's my line.
I'll, oh, wait. Han's going to activate. Han's going to activate. He's going to reveal Chewbacca on top of my deck. Chewbacca and Hu Yang do not have the same cost. Please take 3 damage.
3 to base.
I'm going to claim.
I'm going to pay 1 resource for everyone's favorite clone deserter. And I'm going to draw this Chewbacca and this other card. Ooh, spicy. So, mild awkwardness. about Han Solo.
I'm really excited to blow up your Falcon before it does anything.
No.
You are gonna lose. I am gonna lose the indirect damage, but
Where's the camera? Where's the camera? Check out
I shouldn't.
Check out all these pilots that are not going to do anything when
Every-
when this happens.
every single time someone's like, "Look at my hand," I'm like, "Ooh."
Where?
Where?
Yeah. All right.
We're still getting used to the new studio.
You know, I'm gonna say that for like 3 years. Like, hey, listen, still new. It's a cool studio. We haven't talked about that. This is my first time on it. It's nice.
Do you approve?
Is
Shout outs to the
the Millennium Falcon
assemblers.
going to be defeated?
Yeah,
Aw,
it is. Sorry,
okay.
Falcon.
I'm going to soak up the 2 indirect damage on the Falcon.
Okay.
That makes sense.
We'll put
And then
3
you're gonna
damage
take
back.
3.
So you know what I'm going to do? Since you did that, I'm going to attack you with Han Solo.
Did you take that personally? Was that attack personal?
No.
No, it wasn't.
That was extremely business.
I would
Oh,
say
it's all business.
nothing about it was personnel.
New card alert, but before we do that, the card costs 3. The card costs 3. Clone Deserter here on the ground doesn't cost 3, so I'm going to deal 3 damage to your base.
Okay.
Restore 1, and then show off a new Leia.
Leia.
Love
This was a
that.
really exciting card to design. She went through a lot of iterations, and we eventually found we haven't really done a lieutenant effect that is also healing like this before. It was like inspirational for me for other cards of like, oh, we can do
yeah.
a lot of other stuff with lieutenant that isn't just pumping power and swinging. And oftentimes we can do that in a way that is leading to strong cards and healthier like
Play patterns.
healthier play patterns. Yeah, where you're not just getting hit for 6 out of nowhere, right?
Anyway, Leia's here on top of my deck.
Hi, Leia. I'm gonna play. You know him, you love him. Fifth brother.
Fifth brother. So anyway, then I took that personally.
Now it's personal.
Chewbacca's here as a 5/6 on the
Hey.
ground.
Hi, Chewbacca.
Can we get a close up of
Sure.
Chewbacca?
He's so good. Not really that great in this matchup, but very sturdy.
He's a sturdy
yeah.
boy. Yeah.
Very sturdy.
Solid.
5/6 ground unit can't be defeated or returned to hand by abilities. So I guess relevant against yellow. Does that deck have any return to hand in it? I don't remember. Probably not.
I don't
I think it just has
think
exhaust
so.
and
Yeah.
indirect.
Yeah.
You know. I unfortunately cannot spend my last 2, so I'm gonna claim.
Hello, my name is Han Solo. I am a ground unit. I'm a 3/7.
Felt like you were about to start singing.
Oh, don't tempt me.
When are we doing the musical episode?
No, we don't own the
Han-
rights to that.
Han and Hu Yang together will attack your base for 5.
For 5?
Okie doke.
So, obviously, many words have been said about pilot leaders being vulnerable to upgrade removal. Don't forget they can also be ground units. It's not ideal. Obviously, a 3/4 plus ready all my resources is better than a 3/7 on the ground.
But oftentimes when you do it, it's because they have overweighted towards 1, and then it becomes very good.
But now when I'm lane dodging you, it feels pretty good. I'm gonna resource this Boshek because honestly, I don't know if I'm ever gonna have a spaceship ever again.
Oh.
Well, given what I drew.
Tyler divesting of space.
Yeah. Just going straight back to the ground arena.
Who needs space units when you can have ground units? You know.
Okie doke.
It's a strategy.
I'm
Yeah.
going to Fifth Brother attack Clone Deserter.
There it is.
I'm gonna ping 1 to Hu Yang.
No, Hu
And
Yang.
1 to Fifth Brother, which gives him the raid. He needs to also take out Clone Deserter.
So he'll take 2 back.
Oh, 2, there we go.
You'll defeat both my units
will
and
draw
draw
a
a card. You know what I'm going to do about that? I'm going to pay 3 resources. We're going to call in Leia Organa. Leia says, when played, you may attack with a pilot unit or a unit with a pilot on it. That pilot unit will be Han Solo.
Okay.
Leia and Han come fighting together. He's going to get +1 power and restore 1, so we'll deal 4 to your base and heal 1 off of mine.
It's a very different game. All right, I am going to No Good to Me Dad Chewbacca.
No, Chewbacca, you're so
sad.
You made the
sad.
wrong choice, Tyler. Sorry.
Honestly, I
Put
did.
an exclamation on him.
Yeah, lock him down. I'm going to pay 3
Oh.
resources.
Boba trigger on that. Oh well.
What?
F. Boba trigger on the damage from Fifth Brother.
Oh.
I think you would have just put it on the guy I was attacking anyways, so I don't think it matters. But
That is correct.
yeah. I was trying to remember why I didn't do that.
Here's Ezra. He's here.
Hi, Ezra.
I have no cards in hand.
Okie doke.
Who needs cards when you have these rebel heroes?
4
They're all
ground
rebels.
units. They are.
They're all rebels and they're all together. Remember that scene in Empire Strikes Back when
Are you
Han, Chewie, Leia, and Ezra ran out
And-
of Hoth?
Are you hand
Yeah.
empty?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm going to. I'm trying to decide here. This is another awkwardness with pilot leaders. Is if you could hypothetically get it on an exhausted unit, but leaders entering ready is a very strong part of leaders.
Well, and I think part of the question is if you deploy Boba Fett as a ground unit, he's what, a 4/7? Mm-hmm. And he can take out, I don't know, Ezra maybe?
But this gives me immediate value.
Or you put him on your spaceship and you get to also still defeat
Yeah,
Ezra.
I'm gonna take out Ezra.
Take
I'm
out
gonna
Ezra.
defeat that guy. This is
No
no place
Ezra.
for kids.
Aw.
I'm going to claim the
Battle is
initiative.
no place for kids.
Yeah.
I'm going to claim the initiative.
Okay.
And then I will take 8 damage in space.
Oh.
You're gonna take 8 damage and 2 indirect damage.
Yeah.
So
And 2 indirect damage. I'm going to put that indirect damage on Chewbacca,
sure,
the big Wookiee.
that's what they call him.
He's not attacking next turn anyway. Who knows if he'll
Have you claimed?
ever
Still
ready.
be
I
here.
did claim
Yeah.
this.
Okay, I'm going to put a Zygerian Starhopper out, and I'm going to put a First Order Stormtrooper out,
Oh no.
and then I will.
Oh
pass.
no. Oh no, the legions have arrived. All right, draw 2 cards. What do we got? You know what? Those are pretty good cards.
I love that.
You know who's not a pretty good card? This sad Chewbacca who can't ready. 'Cause
Just
he's-
can't get ready.
He just
Yeah.
he's locked up in carbonite, man.
He's
What do
been
you want?
looking for his shoes for like 20 minutes. We had to be out the door an hour ago.
Tyler, does the Han Solo deck list have like Rebel Assault or like anything in there?
think so.
I don't think that it does.
There are no rebel specific payoffs in the deck.
Okay.
Because we didn't want to. Enough of the cards are not rebels that we're like, we're not
That
going to
makes
give you a
sense.
card that you then feel bad to draw. Especially in a deck where your leader is so often already inconsistent. I am going to take the first action, and it will be to. See, look at this. I was dominating the ground, and now we almost have the same amount of damage on our base.
Yeah. Wow.
The difference is 5, and you have an 8. 5.
What do you got, Tyler?
Oh, you have an 8/5? No, it doesn't work. Not the way I want.
I don't know what it is, but I'm happy to do it work.
I think I have to take out Fifth Brother, and I do not like it, even a little bit.
Fifth Brother will be swinging for 5.
Yikes.
You don't.
I'll attack Fifth Brother, restore 1,
And take 2 to lay it.
take 2 to Leia.
Okay.
Bye, Fifth Brother.
Bye, Fifth Brother.
Okay. I'm gonna No Good to Me Dead again
Oh my
On Han
goodness.
Solo.
on Han Solo.
This is MJ learning from the previous game.
I was showing people
You were showing people cards.
Showing
Yeah,
people
I
the
was
cards,
I was
And
being
honestly-
very
cards.
responsible and kind.
I respect that, and I respect that so much that I'm going to play Blue Leader.
Hi, Blue Leader.
I will resolve the ambush first, so we'll ambush your Starhopper.
Sure.
Then your Starhopper will trigger.
Yep. Take 2 indirect, and then you're gonna move him to the ground.
I will assign 2 indirect damage to Han, and then I will pay 2 resources to move him to the ground
me
with
2
2
XP.
experience.
Nice.
Because ground arena is where it's at. I got all excited when I was like 5 power ambush, but specifically not 5 power ambush in space where I need it.
Okay. I'm very excited for this one. We've got Hunting Aggressor. This probably this
Oh,
is gonna be a
no.
lot.
Oh,
have people seen
no.
Hunting Aggressor yet?
They have, but
they
we can
have.
show it off again.
Yeah, show it to the people. Show it to the fine people.
Show it to the people on the internet.
Hunting Aggressor is just going to increase all indirect damage by 1 that you're dealing.
Oh, that's fantastic.
Which, when your deck is full of indirect damage, adds up very fast. Also, 3/6 stat line. Hard
Yeah,
to get rid
pretty
of.
good.
on a 4-drop.
On a 4-drop? Yeah, that's good.
You know what that card does really well? Carry pilots.
Mm.
I'm going to pay 1 resource for Han's best friend, Greedo.
Hi, Greedo.
I was going to say Chewie. The Chewie unit's already here, so.
Han and Greedo.
They're a gang of 3 friends.
Famous best friends.
Famous trio.
All right. I'm going to deal 8 to base and 3
sure
indirect
are.
damage.
Yikes.
Just throw me a 10. I got it. Just throw me a 10. You said 3. You said 3 indirect damage.
3 indirect.
Thanks, hunting aggressor.
Just going to scooch these further over towards
no,
you.
Don't do that.
This
to
would
me.
be such a cool time. This deck doesn't have Bloodsport in it.
Here's
but,
Han.
Oh.
Bloodsport can be really sweet.
That would be great.
You want to open up some Twilight of the Republic packs and modify your deck? That's the answer. I'm going to take the initiative.
I'll hit your base for 2.
2.
And I will also deal you 2 indirect damage with the help of my hunting aggressor.
And you will also deal me 2 indirect damage with the
Are the
help.
rares in the Spotlight deck going to be available in packs? Rares that are from set 4, yes. Some cards.
Every card that has an R in the lower right corner is available in a booster pack somewhere.
Yes, that is true. It just depends on the set.
Yeah. And it has all the same set codes. So if you're like, what set is this from? Oh, it says TWI. Okay, Twilight of the Republic. That's all I got. I lose in 1 action, so I hope the top cards in my deck can stop
Good
that from
luck.
attacking.
Fire, yeah.
Are you ready? We're all going to find out together.
Let's do it.
Blue leader doesn't get the job done. Clone deserter also
Clone
doesn't get the
Deserter.
job done.
Ah,
Boba
very
Fett.
nice.
Chalk up a win for the good guys,
Yeah.
aka Boba Fett.
Boba Fett in Fire Spray gets the job done.
Have we shown people Pulse?
No.
This
I
was
don't
the
think
top
so.
of my deck.
No.
Was electromagnetic pulse.
Oh,
This
that's
is a
exciting.
This
very
is-
limited
Wow.
specific.
I
set
think
4
the
card.
most important card I've ever drafted in a draft environment ever.
Another good art
For a
piece
1
on
drop.
common.
Yeah. The art in set 4 is beautiful.
Good. Year 2 in general is.
Yeah.
I'm very excited.
Well, and I know, talking with the art team, obviously there's a lot of ships, and so we, needed to challenge some of the artists to think about how do we depict space and ships in space.
Yep.
Not all the same way over and over and over again, which is
Right.
really, it's a very interesting art brief to have to work around. So lots of color, lots of
Well,
dynamic,
let's-
like forced perspective,
Let's just
things
take
like
these
that.
these 3 that are on the table. You have this aggressor who has a little planet in the corner.
Probably
Show
put it
there.
over there.
Should I put it
Oh,
over
yeah,
here?
up here.
Here's the aggressor, right? It's got a little planet in the corner. That makes it not just a boring old space field. You also have the Fett's Fire Spray. That's not black. That's like cool oranges and stuff. That's cool colors.
Cool.
And then you have Blue Leader. Blue Leader, there's a whole business going on with like a planet atmosphere and
There's
like
one whole business here.
an explosion over here, and there's whatever this thing that they're flying over. It's the shield gate at Scarif. Right? So like, we got to be a little creative with,
Yeah.
or a lot creative with how we were going to make sure the units. And there's still plenty of space units that are just it's a ship in space, right? But it's not most of them.
Some person was asking about special rarity cards in the chat. Some kind volunteers have helped answer, but just for the sake of officialness,
Yeah.
special rarity exclusive to these boxes, you do get a full playset. That was the case with the starters. It was also the case with the spotlights.
Right.
So no, you do not need to buy 3 Boba Fett boxes. 1 Boba is all you need, and it's this one.
And it's this one right here.
And it's this one.
Awesome.
Big numbers. I like the numbers going up.
Look at that.
Yeah,
that,
big
that was
numbers.
a
That
unit
was-
that attacked for 10 twice, and then I lost.
I had fun,
Oh, that's all we're here for, really.
To make sure, yeah.
and that means I won. But also I won.
Are there any?
Also, you won.
Also, well, you both won.
We won. Yeah.
You
yeah,
both won. Are there any other cards in the spotlight decks that haven't been shown that we want to show? I was trying to keep
Sorry, those are yours.
trying to keep a little bit of a list here.
For
I got
people
these
that
two.
look in the box, you've got your deck list on the back of the base.
Yeah.
So we can
Yes,
consult
and
this.
hey, there we go. There is the deck
we have a
list.
graphic?
Both deck lists.
We got a
Incredible.
graphic and everything.
Yeah.
Don't worry, I'm pulling them out.
Thank you, Tyler.
I think there are only like a
think-
couple left.
Yeah.
It's like a lot of the rares because the rares are one-ups.
Um.
And you got EMP. Yes, good.
Oh, you've got both of the
And
decks.
in a minute, and by the time I'm done, the audience is going to
Is
be
gonna pull it
clamoring,
out, yep.
clamoring on the internet saying, "I haven't seen this card." Okay, I counted 4.
I think I showed all of mine.
There
I
were
think
2 rares.
you're missing.
Sure.
I'm not going to say them out loud. We're going to
Sure,
find
sure,
out.
sure.
All right, first we're going to start with Boba Fett since he won. Look, it's Boba Fett. It's
Ooh,
literal
that
Boba
art.
Fett. Boba Fett got a pilot leader. He also gets a pilot unit. This is a rare in the set. He's a 5/4 shielded. Sweet stat line. But importantly, it does a small ping when you play him as an upgrade. Might feel kind of medium, but don't forget that he's also a 2-cost +2/+3 upgrade.
Oh yeah,
That's
and you can be dealing
already-
too if you put them on a transport, which could include such ships as Houndstooth
And Fet's Fire Spray.
Fet's
Fet's
Fire Spray.
yeah.
Yeah.
This card and a blue villain pilot we've not shown off yet. I
yes.
love to throw in a Gar
Saxon.
a Gar go fast deck. Yeah,
Because they're both shielded.
They're both shielded on their ground side, and they both have like a when play trigger on their pilots, and they both have high power, and it's fun and cool, and I like it. It's good.
You know, it's a cool transport for this Boba Fett to fly.
Do you have something?
I do. It's
Oh yeah.
IG-2000.
Oh,
This is one of
yes.
my favorite cards in the set, actually.
This card is extremely cool. This card synergizes with so many decks, including a lot of leaders and decks that aren't going to come for another like several months. But IG-2000 has legs. It's also a really cool design.
We designed this card, and I looked at it, and I was like, this card cannot possibly be good. And then every time I play it, it overperforms. It defeats 2 units.
Yeah.
It activates all my.
It's an underworld with a strong when played
With
for
all-
all of
yeah.
the,
For all the, like,
Cad Tarkin Town,
Cad
like
Tarkin
yellow
Town
red,
things.
like
Yeah.
goes right in.
Classic. I got another transport, but this one Boba Fett probably isn't going to be piloting.
Maybe not.
It's the Shuttle Tidarium.
Oh yeah.
This is a special rarity card in Han's deck. Obviously, Han sneaks his way around in the Shuttle Tidarium, so here it is. It's very rare for yellow cards to grant experience tokens, but we wanted a permanent reward for this to activate every turn, right? As a reward for building your Odd Cost Matters
Sure.
deck.
Yeah, absolutely.
And it's just a little engine. You just put it out there on turn 2.
It feels nice. It's also very rare for yellow to get to be putting value like this on the board. We had a debate about it where we were like, can yellow even be allowed to do this? And we kind of decided that the odd cost condition and the discarding from your own deck, a lot of weird hoops is a yellow thing in general. So
So you can make a case for it.
Yeah.
Interesting. Yeah.
And for our final card, speaking of yellow things in general, everyone
I
loves
love
change
this.
of heart. So what if you could commandeer a ship? Some fun details about this are obviously the fact that it can only get vehicles and only get small vehicles
Right.
was entirely based on theme, right? You can't easily commandeer a Star Destroyer.
No.
And you can't commandeer a person. That's not what commandeer means. But because this is the pilot set, we thought it would be really cool if pilots also protected you from this card. Right?
Oh, that's
so it's like
neat.
you can't commandeer a piloted ship because there's a pilot there to stop you.
There is a pilot
There's a
there
literal
who is-
person. And also it gives you a little bit more reward in the metagame of like, well, if the metagame is full of pilots, this card is worse, but if not, this card's better. And then since there were all these conditions on it, and also just to make it more interesting and less like the card that already exists, we added this little, after you commandeer the vehicle, it goes back to their hand, so they don't get to just use it again against you right away.
Yeah, it's interesting.
It's a little bit of a steal, a little bit of a bounce, and a little bit of a Pilot's Matter card, all in one. And it's a rare in the set.
do we know an answer to this question we have up about the Han and Boba?
The answer is yes.
Okay, cool.
So the question is,
Nope, they don't get it.
don't get it?
Yeah, you let them know. Yeah.
I'm saying the question out loud. Are the Han Solo and Boba Fett leaders going to be the pre-release promos, like previous sets? And the answer is yes. The answer is yes. Yeah.
And I will. No, wait, that's for next week. Never mind.
Table it.
Table it.
Put a
Table-
pin in
Table
it.
it for next week. I was like, I want to talk about this thing. Oh, wait, you have a whole stream about it. Never mind.
Sure do. And actually, that's a good reminder. I think we're kind of reaching the end of our time here about Spotlight decks. So come back and hang out with us next Wednesday, where we'll be talking some more Star Wars Unlimited. And in the meantime, head over to StarWarsUnlimited.com in the news and articles section, where you can read just a little bit more about these fabulous Spotlight decks.
Yeah,
We are like mid-spoiler season, like
Yeah.
revealing cool cards very frequently.
Yeah.
I haven't gotten to talk about Pyatt at all yet.
No, you haven't.
on this stream, but I've wanted to talk about Pyatt so long.
Soon. Yeah.
I'm so proud of that guy.
Yeah. So proud of that card.
Cool. Anyways,
I wrote I was thinking about a thing that that we did in the development where Piet has the Avenger and the planetary bombardment, and there was a point in time where that was very close to being a one-turn kill combo because it did. Because the Avenger, don't worry about it, don't react. Because the Avenger, no, Devastator.
I was
Sorry,
about to
not
say, I
Avenger.
was very confused.
Not Devastator.
Devastator.
Devastator says you decide all the indirect damage, and then Planetary Bombardment says deal a bunch of indirect damage.
Yeah.
You're just like, what if I just did 20 damage to your base right
would just
now? Anyway, we had to nerf it because it was too good.
That's unfortunate.
Devastator
But
used to have
important.
8 HP a very long time ago.
yeah,
It was an
something like
8/8
that.
as opposed to a 9/6, and boy, that was
That mattered a lot.
impossible to deal with. 9/6 is an exciting style line for a capital ship, anyways, though.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm happy where it ended up.
Yeah, absolutely.
You want to go play some set 4 games off camera?
Oh, we're just going to
I'm
exclude
probably
our
going
friends
to
at
go
home.
eat Jolly Rancher.
Okay, well then I think
Gonna-
with that,
if.
MJ's gonna go eat some candy. I think maybe we'll go play some set 4.
Yeah.
So again, till next time, we'll see you back here next Wednesday, gang. Thanks for joining.
Bye.